Hello, hello, hello. Uh, Social media and YouTube is crazy because tell me how we are on day 6. This is wild. Um, I will say I'm observing like the more that I do it, the more comfortable I get with it. If you're new here, which by this time all of you will be new here because I have not told I haven't told anybody that I started YouTube. Um, it's still very experimental for me. I'm very new, and I'm trying to cultivate enough safety within myself first before I invite people to the space. But hello to the four subscribers. No, because yes, thank you. Because if four strangers walked into this room here and now, IRL, I would be so nervous. Or, yeah, I'd be nervous. So, I'm Angel. I am running this experiment of listening more to my soul, and my soul has brought me to YouTube, called me to YouTube, and I'm bringing you guys all with me on the journey to make space and live from my true, authentic self. I've done it for a while, but to document it like this and being in a lot of different transitions, I'm curious to see where this is going to take me. So, if not for my own repertoire, to be able to look back and see what happens if I continue the work that I believe in. That's like the very least of it. And the most of it is like, who might I inspire? Who might I, in the last episode, in the last video, I talked about the ripple effect. And so you just never know who, what that ripple is going to look like, you know, from person to person, from person to opportunity, from person to community. You just don't know. So, I got a little tired of making all my decisions from fear. I think there's an episode? It's silly to me still. I think there's a video on that. Fear is a liar, I believe is what I titled that. Um I'm tired. Tired of making all my decisions from fear. I'm like just adopting this mentality, experimental mentality, curiosity based mentality of why not make decisions out of love and flow and guidance, in my meditations actually I often ask for, and it's like a mantra now, so if this flies off so naturally, it's because I chant this every morning within my time with Source. I'm asking for strength, love, guidance, health, wealth, more love, peace, prosperity, protection, provision. And the list goes on. I got a little nervous because that's the thing is this journey has been my own my whole life. And now I'm being asked to share my journey. The next step in my journey is to share my journey. The next step in the work is to share the work. The next step in the routines is to share the routines. The next step in the lessons is to share the lessons. So that's what this is. But it is there. It's still nerve wracking because I've never done it like this, right? So I still get nervous even though I'm deciding to show up. I will say I was contemplating the concept of community today. Um, my very good friend and I got into a conversation and I recorded it. I've been experimenting on the side too with I have these mobile mics, the ones with the little fuzzies that you see people talk with. I'm learning how to record on that because I have such heart blowing, not even mind blowing, heart expanding and exploding conversations on the regs. on the daily, day in and day out. And I think that's, I can, I can attest, that's what I don't even know what I'm saying. That's why I stay evolving and expanding and growing and evolving so much. My sister loves to say, you've grown so much, it's just leaps and bounds. And I love that. And I was like, I wonder why that is. Like when God made me, when source, spirit, nature, whatever you resonate with, we all agree that it exists, but religion loves to fight about what to call it. I don't give a shit. Uh, I've experienced too much magic in my life to deny it at this point. So, but I'm like, yeah, when God made me, he must have put, extra on that growth mindset. My point is I have expansive conversations on the regular, and that's why I grow leaps and bounds. And I get to see that ripple effect in real time. It's so beautiful. So, I've been for science experimenting with recording. Oh, it looked like I was smoking weed. Sorry. Ah! I don't know what you can say on here or not. Anyway, I've been experimenting with the little microphones. Testing, testing. Doo-doo. And one of my very good friends and I got into a conversation about community and how in today's age there's kind of a disconnect from consequences. Um, and that's why you'll see like online, like people are fucking brave in those comments. People are fucking mean in those comments. There's just no consequences. And so she made this point that we've kind of lost sight of this social responsibility to take care of each other, which is quite interesting. Quite interesting. I remember a time when I was so, and it was survival mode that kept me very disconnected, very disconnected from my authenticity. But when you're disconnected inside, you're disconnected from the external as well, right? So I didn't even realize the importance of community, how vital it is to people's not just survival, but thrival. Cheers to the thrival. Um, it wasn't until like 2020, actually. 2020 ripped community out from underneath all of our feet. Um, with social distancing and needing to stay home, the world shut down. And even then, I knew, or I remember sitting, oh my God, it was a message from my soul. Okay, story time. It's all story time here. Welcome. I'm driving in my car and I make a turn. It's 2020. The world is seemingly shut down. We found ways, to grocery shop, to go places, all the things. But anyhow, I'm driving in my car. It's 2020. I'm realizing that community has been ripped out from underneath us all. And for some reason, I get this grand, grand idea. Oh, I don't know why I quote things that are actually real. What is this about? I think it's a version of me playing small still. Hmm, interesting. Anyhow, I get this idea. I'm like, well, if everything is virtual, then perhaps I should start a virtual community, maybe like a women's group that, um, and I do. I work with women predominantly because I am woman, but I grew up with boys. I do know boys. My point is, I got this idea to start an online community of like people who meet, in groups like on Zoom or something for support. Just a safe and trusted space to be, to relate to each other, to support each other, to be seen, heard, understood, a safe space. And I chickened out. 2020, 6 years, 6 years ago. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I distracted. It doesn't matter as to why I didn't do it, but I didn't. What I do remember from that time, though, is being in the car and I was like, everybody's probably got this idea. And source, spirit, God, nature, whatever you want to call it, I'll find a name that I'm comfortable with. I've been calling it my soul. The soul that dwells within this avatar, this body. She goes, look over to the right. And I look over and there's a gentleman picking his nose. I'm in the car. He's picking his nose. And my soul goes, do you think he's having these ideas? Do you think he's getting these big ideas on how to support his community and show up in leadership roles? And I just, okay, and it was actually soon thereafter that I started hosting Zoom gatherings of like my friends, like our friends. I had a different community at the time. So birthday parties, baby showers, like showing up on Zoom, like decorating full background, just like showing up extra like I would in real life. So I guess that was the beginning stages of one, catching downloads, two, like kind of questioning them. And yeah, okay, still playing small, but the nervous system needs baby steps to be able to build the capacity anyhow. So the sense of community really, really sparked in 2020. Since then, I've made it a mission to see what this thing called community is all about. I started taking classes at American River College there in Sacramento, and as a vocalist, I wound up taking music classes and joining a vocal jazz ensemble of all things, right? Something I had never done before. Um, and having visibility wounds, having stage fright, no matter how talented or how positive of feedback that I had gotten throughout my life with my vocals, I still had ridiculous stage fright. I mean, it was just outrageous. And so to sing in front of strangers was the most vulnerable thing I could have done at that time. I've, I'm I'm kind of externally processing right now, actually, because I'm finding it interesting that that was the most vulnerable thing I could do, and I was contemplating the concept of community. Because what had happened, oh, it's fucking magical. What had happened is this group of people, ooh, I am going to cry. Okay, welcome, welcome in. This group of people held such a safe, judgment free zone where I could lay down or start to wiggle my way out of my perfectionism, the fear of being seen, the fear of messing up in front of people, willing to repeat phrases. I mean, have you ever tried scatting? Have you ever tried scatting in a group? Have you ever tried scatting in a group while being on the same breath and inflection, holding your own note? It's the craziest thing. And it's really cool when you can pull it off, actually. Shout out to ARC ensembles. I love them. Well, I love my people. Anyhow, they can't get rid of me now. This is years later and I keep them close because I trust them. There's a sense of safety. And not just that, we take care of each other. Um, Actually, that's who, we just we just take care of each other. We just take care of each other. And now, 6 years later, my community has grown and evolved into such a magical support system where we help each other hear each other's authentic voice. We are there for the hard times. We celebrate the good times. We, I mean, even today, you know, taking different kids to school in the morning. I got to jam to Hamilton. I got to jam to the ABCs, all while just taking care of the children, right? And then later on, I got to do some dog training. Uh, Last night, I got to listen to classical music while hanging out with a friend and connecting. He's been a total rock for me lately. Showing up, just being present. I used to think I had to earn this type of belonging. Ooh, this is magic. I used to think I had to earn this type of belonging. I had to earn this type of love. And I had to work hard to be loving and be lovable. There's so many layers there in that one sentence. But you don't have to earn. I mean, okay, yes, to a certain degree, trust is earned, presence is earned. But to a certain degree, your people will see, hear, understand, accept, be curious about you. They will love you. You know, perhaps, unconditional love is a different topic for a different day. But to me, relationship in any regards is being able to have the uncomfortable conversations and still choose connection through it all, no matter how messy it gets. And you don't have to have a bunch of money to give or a huge house to host in or a perfect life to present to people for them to feel safe in your presence. You know, shout out to one partner for teaching me about uncomfortable conversations and choosing each other afterwards. Shout out to another partner in the community of teaching me. What did I just say? Oh, I got distracted for a second there. Of presence. I was struggling with like perfectionism in how do I show up to these relationships when I feel like I have nothing to offer. I'm not a fucking millionaire. I don't have a huge house. I don't, at that time I didn't even have a space to host company. And this person taught me to just show up. Our that cliche phrase is coming to mind. Your presence is the present. And it just kind of trickles in that community is so necessary. We've just moved so far away from it with this individualistic culture here in, the US where we each individually feel like we have to do it all when in community and like I don't know, my mind's eye is coming up with like villages. We each play a role, we play to our strengths, and we take care of each other. We take care of our people. This might seem like a super simple topic, but you know, I came from a broken family and there just wasn't a huge example. And perhaps there was. If there's family watching this and you don't think that that's valid, well, uh, And the other possibility is there was so much trauma that I wasn't present to witness the opposite. So there's just, so, anyways, these are all just like concepts I'm learning for the first time. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much to say. 38 minutes. Your girl can yap. Hmm? Community. Community. The limiting beliefs around how to belong, how to serve, how to show up. Just show up. Relax into it. Be curious. Listen. Assist. It's really just like exist in the presence of someone else. Okay. Keep your heart in the right place. Keep your intentions true. I love you. Day 6.